So I'm proud that I was born here and I've been around a while, so it's good. This is a poem I wrote a few years ago in memory of Pa Willie, who was one of the big six. And I recited it at the British Council. And today's version is an abridged version. It's more to do the celebration and to do a small exhortation to Ghanaians. Yeah.
All right.
It is entitled The Ideals of a Nation, but the subtitle is Pioneers, Patriots, and Pax Africana.
All right, take it away then.
As the air with pomp and pageantry stirs, with our people a poet, our story shares, an African epic of a freedom adventure abounding with optimism and overture. A near delirium of delight that fills this poet arises not from a boast or a perch on a post. Elated, he is rather heeding the solemn call that to our ancestors piety we must accord. If for nothing else, they lent us life, left us art, a wealth of wit and wisdom, myths and acts. Only the poor fool begrudges the dead, so demurs, so shirks a duty sacredly held. Our elders say, the arc of a story must bend towards a moral. Ours begins at the end of the beginning of an episode that's lain in our much treasured legend and lore. Once upon a time, imperial conquest corralled diverse peoples, stringing strands of trades, scores of taste into a trophy colony. Assorted peoples hemmed into one people in the contrived design. Our names overlain with names at the whim of the conquistador. We know why we name the names of places and persons, yet an ancient people, now a curious mix of names. Heathen, aborigine, indigenous, native, tribe, ethnic, and today, imagine. Don't our elders say your character reflects the name bestowed upon you? Enthralled, a race would crave the allure of the colonial, a tongue to master, a mellifluous name to assume. Many a tradition the proselytizer would forswear as heathen, but to the received shibboleth, folks would swear fealty. Soon though the riveting irony, ranks of the lettered few swelled to offer a soothing antidote to the swelling imperial carbuncle on a diminished people and a vanished pride. At history's crossroads, chance and choice crisscrossed, a veteran soldier's unprepossessing march for a just recompense, a lethal gun ready at the trigger, Ajete, Odate, and Soa, falling as it were, not in battle, in the rice paddies of Burma, fell they were while promenading a castle beach. Yet reparations to their memory, not extracted neither in gold nor in silver, nor in cannonading the castle beach, but in the glory of a freedom fighter's apt moment for artillery. The bond of 1844, a deed of a people's grave era of surrender, now a lightning rod to stoke the embers of muted discontent into a raging flame of unquenchable rebellion. The martyr will shed blood so that within freedom's fortress, his people could the battles of life prosecute. Men of valor, unbroken of spirit, would endure the agony of the Usher Ford, so that at the trodden old Polo Park, at the voice of freedom's herald, a downtrodden folk could frolic. Our founding fathers' foresight, a perfect vision in hindsight, a prophet of prescience, for they trolled upriver to the watershed of our motherland story, reckoning what she had been before, Ghana, Mali, Songhai Empire, beholding what she had become amid the twists and turns of time. See, deflowered she was at the onset of a dark orgiastic trade. The hawking remnants lay prostrate, pointing heavenward, perhaps penitent, on the beachhead at Osu, Cape Coast, Elmina, and beyond. Still, she cuddled precious stones in her ample bosom. Unbowed and radiant, she bathed in the sun-drenched, restorative tidal waters of the Atlantic realm at Elubu, Anomabo, and Keta. She was the sacred summit of Afajato, the beckoning Akuapem range, easing into the bucolic savanna of grain and game of the vast rustic north. She was the lush millennial forest of an interior sodden with the living waters of Esu Afram, Ankobra, Birim, Otadia Bosumtwe, Densu, Ofin, Oti, Pra, Tano, Black Volta, and White Volta. Then and there on the cusp of history, they saw ahead what she could become from that Gold Coast colony, servile and unadorned beauty, shorn of wealth and self-worth, to a renaissance Ghana, free, unmolested, bejeweled, wealthy, and worthy. Kwame Nkrumah, Chiri Chwe Boachi Dankwa, Akun Ejei, Obi Chebilamte, Akufu Addo and Oforiatta were the storied Big Six, pioneers whose was a bequest of heroic deeds. We are a memorial in full bloom, befitting their seminal toil. And such as she was, such would a young nation brazenly answer the clarion call to liberation. A few million folk, unreadied, yet ready for a venture in adventure. She would parlay statecraft to breach her scrawny African frontiers, a David in stature, yet with an epic temerity to confront the bemused Goliaths of an era, a Prometheus at the mid-20th century. The virtue of a reconfigured continent she would proclaim, such as to tackle the Herculean task ahead. To that odyssey, she would lend a pioneering spirit and verve. At home, she would wage many a noble war against dire human privations. Saplings of education in blissful bloom over meadow, hill, and vale, to inoculate the folk against the malady of want, to loosen the shackles of ignorance. Such would be her evocative enterprise. She would tame game, subdue land to yield harvest for her granaries. A sphinx of harbor would realize along her Atlantic shorelines. A fleet of her flag-flown vessels would venture out to sea and the distant shore, braving the trade wind and the hurricane, announcing the spirit of amity, coaxing commerce from among the committee of nations. She would raise a lake across a gorge and in Konsombo to lift Akosombo on the grid, a light of hope to cast a radiant glow on a new dawn of boundless possibilities. And into the arm of the infant nation, the artist will inject such as to suffuse the nation with adrenal rush. And a romantic review, Efrimamo, extolling our forebears' sacrifice, the ethos of the patriot. Theodosia Okon, exuding inventive genius in a freedom's flag that flutters at mast. In an anthem, Philip Beho exhorting a nation to bravery and dignity. Ajakonimo, waxing lyrical in nostalgic folk songs of an endearingly enduring troubadour. And our exultant poets, Efua Sutherland, Kwesi Brew, Ama Ata Edu, and Atukwe Okai, soothing our yearning for triumph with streams of staves strewing with sweet songs. O Ghana, bon vivant, confident, jubilant, even bohemian, this Ghana, now an artfully knitted quilt, a rich tapestry in hue and in habit, in taste and in trait, in tenet and in testament. This Ghana, like a long, colorful yarn, on the loom and lap of the ambidextrous Bonre Kinte craftsman. This Ghana, our beloved land of destiny, but now a benighted sovereign, summons our generation to a Pax Africana, to a new Newtonian age of reason, such as nature's nature, her teeming treasure stores to unleash, for progress yet to be heralded, for poetry yet to be heard. So while our mood is euphoric, may this new journey be begun from this glorious 60th anniversary hour. Happy birthday, Ghana.
Amazing. How long did it take you to put this together? And you were not reading?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm actually just sings and it doesn't read. That's it.
But this is incredible. Thank you for sharing something so personal with all of us. You're also involved in cocoa plantation as well.
Yes, yes. I'm an entrepreneur by occupation, a poet by an vocation, and sometimes an essayist. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. That's Mr. Roland Okyere Akosah, who is a member of the Writers Association. He's an entrepreneur. He's founder of Eno International, LLC, which is a small privately held firm that invests in early stage companies. And as you can tell, he's a great poet as well.
Joy News wishes all viewers Happy Independence Day.